Now, many of you already know that Neo Day is currently taking place at the moment, and the CEO of Neo has made three major announcements. Of course, there are other things that he mentioned, but to me, these are the three major announcements which as an investor makes me to be really excited. And of course, the first one was the fourth battery swapping station that is able, or that will be able to swap the battery inside a Neo car in 3 minutes, which is something that is pretty amazing because it's pretty fast. Then the second one is, of course, the new model by the name of the ET9, which Neo plans to start selling in Q1 of 2025, but pre-orders have opened now. The third major breakthrough or major announcement that the Neo CEO made is, of course, the Neo AD chip, which is something that is pretty amazing because this is the first multifunctional AD chip that Neo just officially launched. So these or all these breakthroughs are out of all the things that the Neo CEO just said during Neo Day 2023 today. These three stands out for me. But of course, before I dig deep into this video, you already know that this video is just an entertainment video and not a professional financial advice video. I would really appreciate if you can just hit the like button if you are to enjoy the content that I'll be giving you about Neo, or what the Neo CEO just said about these three main or major developments around Neo. So the first one, as I've said, without wasting any more of your time, is the fourth generation swapping station. It will be able to swap the battery inside the Neo user by around 3 minutes, which is faster or much faster than, of course, the third generation swapping station, which is able to do that or complete a swap in less than 4 minutes. So this fourth generation swapping station can be able to complete over 400 swaps per day, which is something that is pretty amazing because, ladies and gents, this recent one is able to do only 312s per day. So to get to see it going over 400, it is something that is also to be noted. I mean, battery swapping stations, ladies and gents, brings much comfort to those that subscribe to Buzz. Now, when we talk of battery swapping station, Neo's plans for 2024 is to deploy 1,000 new battery swapping stations in China. These will bring a total of battery swapping station in China to about or to over 3,300 by the end of 2024, which is something that is pretty amazing, pretty good. And what the CEO of Neo also indicated when we look into battery swapping station, he said that all the people or Neo users staying in the cities or working in the cities, they've got a battery swapping station, or 80% of them have got a battery swapping station within a 3-kilometer radius, which is something that is pretty amazing because that brings convenient, or it means that whether you are in home or at work, you again get a battery swapping station within a 3-kilometer radius from where you are or from where you stay or work, which is something that is of course interesting because it brings convenient, or it is bringing convenient to the people. Now, the second major thing that, of course, the Neo CEO announced was, of course, the new Neo ET9, which, boy, I must say, the features in that car are just so out of this world because, ladies and gents, the comfortability that comes with that car. I mean, there was a demonstration during the event or during the presentation by the CEO where they had stacked glasses or glasses on top of each other filled with water, which they demonstrated, which of course the car was driving on top of humps, but yet those glass were not falling down. I mean, when you talk of suspension, when you talk of the suspension of the car, ladies and gents, the new CEO indicated that it is far ahead than the recent Porsche Panamera, which is something that is pretty good because Neo, it means that it is ahead of almost all the, of course, cars that you find in the market right now. I mean, during the CEO's presentation, there was so many things that he announced on this car to say that it is ahead, or it is number one when you look into different aspects of the car, which is something that is pretty amazing and shows you that Neo, ladies and gents, it is doing really well. I mean, it has got a bridge in the middle. When you look into the interior, or something that stood up for me, it is the bridge inside the interior, which starts from the front going into the back seats. It has got a freezer. It has got, of course, 2 monitors at the back of the seats, or the front seats, which is something that is pretty amazing. It is quite spacious and big. And ladies and gents, the price for this vehicle starts at 800,000 RMB, and the deliveries are expected to come in Q1 of 2025. But pre-orders have opened, which is something that is pretty amazing. I mean, I thought this car would go over a million RMB, or will be around a million RMB, but looking at the fact that with the technology and the features in this car priced at this amount, I think it's not that bad, or it's not bad. And I think people can still, those high earners can still buy a lot of this car. But once again, as said by the Deutsche Bank with regards this car, it is not a large quantity car, or I don't think NIO is intending to sell a lot of quantities from this car, because it is their most expensive car. It is their flagship, of course. Then I mean, the price, this car cannot be afforded by so many people, which is why its segment is Maybach A8 and of course BMW 7 Series. I mean, you will know that, for example, the Neo ES6 it's around 368,000 RMB, and this car it's at 800,000 RMB. You can check the difference between the two cars, and this just has to show you that not so many people will be able to afford this car, and therefore we are not supposed to expect so many sales coming from this car. Otherwise, the third big thing that the NIO CEO announced, of course, was the AD, or NIO's first AD chip, which, ladies and gents, this is a breakthrough, because this is NIO's first developed smart driving EV chip, which, ladies and gents, it is more advanced, or more, of course, much better than the current chips in the industry, which is something that is pretty amazing, because this chip, it is more advanced. It can do a lot of things comparing to the existing chips, which is something that is always good. And to know that it is in-house makes me to be really excited, because this will therefore mean that when you look at things like gross margins, they will improve because of things like this. Because previously, you'll know that NIO was getting most of their chips from Nvidia, which is always of course or they have to pay or buy those chips. But now this one, it's in-house, or it's built in-house, which is something that is always good, as it will also help them, of course, improve on their gross margins. Otherwise, ladies and gents, that's all I can give you for now when you look into the NIO Day, or that's the summary that I can give to you about NIO Day. I'm very excited about these latest developments we got to hear coming from the CEO himself, Mr. William Lee, and I look forward into, of course, getting this car to be sold by Q1 2025, though I think it's a bit longer. But what he said is that more features will still be unveiled in due course. We should stay tuned for that. So there are still more features to be unveiled or to be announced when looking at this ET9, but I look forward to that. But nonetheless, I still feel that, yeah, maybe it should have came maybe probably Q4, Q3 of 2024, because what we saw previously, especially I think it was with the ET7, is that those that make pre-orders, they end up losing hope, or they end up not being able to wait for that long and cancel their orders because it is taking too long to start with the delivery. So I just hope that this time around it does not, or we don't see what we saw when NIO launched the ET7. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I make 10 sentences of stock market investing videos. And if you think that this video was amazing, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe. And once you subscribe, don't forget to hit or click the notification bell so that at least you get notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. Otherwise, that's all from me, and I wish you nothing but the best in your stock market investing journey, and God bless you all.